This film is born out of our unease with our present.
First of all, we went during the election periods, 2019 elections and 2021 elections. So what happens during the election period is that these political people, they are less guarded. So they open up without checking everybody's profiles. They are also, we found out, very lazy in that way. They could have just, because we gave our own names and we didn't hide our identities, so they sort of gave us access, at least they gave us interviews. But we had tried for access to one of the Dwaipayan camps actually. They had initially agreed to it, but somehow on the day of the camp they stopped receiving our phones, so that access somehow they got alerted and they didn't allow us. But as for interviews, we got lucky, I think, because it was the election seasons, so they were more open to talking to people thinking that they are media persons. We didn't say we are media persons, we said that we are making a documentary, but I think they were not so alerted. So that was one thing. As far as attacks, I mean, we didn't get attacked as a filmmaker, but as activists we got attacked. So in the anti-CAA, anti-NRC movement, that phase, we had RSS and BJP people come over to our house, and confrontation happened and FIRs happened. So that happened. They threatened me also because I was opposing CAA and NRC. But that was not as a filmmaker, so we didn't get attacked as a filmmaker. Now when we go back from here, because we had the premiere of the film here, now when we go back there and we start showing the film in places, then we will see what happens. But since they got a very bad drubbing in the elections, hopefully hopefully they won't be able to really, be so dangerous as it would have been otherwise if they won.
I don't know, even just giving an interview on camera is a huge issue for us. In one constituency, I would say we reach around 7 to 8 lakh voters whenever we want.
We got really lucky because the IT cell guy. I think this was the first time in any documentary that you can see IT cell person talking directly about their strategies, and also the VHP person talking so openly about their strategies and all those things.
How this happened? I was wondering actually.
So we decided that we should not be hiding our names, because in today's time you can't hide your name. Okay, you can even do Google image search, but even they Googled our names, they would have known who we are. We never said who we are as an activist, but we said these are our names. But somehow, as Kasturi was saying, that they were lazy enough not to search for our name in the Google and all those things. Otherwise, we would have been in trouble. Obviously, we would have been in trouble. At least they would have shut their access, at least. But somehow we got very lucky. We haven't used it in the film, but we also were there inside meeting. There was this cadre meeting was happening. So we got inside of it and had mobile footage of that. We never could use it because of in the editing process it was not gelling together, but we had that footage also. But one thing happened when in the 2021 election, I went to the constituency where Rahul Sinha was standing. And there was this big, small cadre meeting just before the election. You have this very secret cadre meeting, na? So I was standing outside, 3 of us were standing outside. And I was sipping tea in a place. And I told my camera person that you just go there with a small handle and just go there as if you are a BJP person. Now, they somehow caught him. Then they caught my sound person. Then they called me that we have been caught. Then I went there. Then I said, okay, what to do? Then they deleted all the photos, and then at least 50 people surrounded me. Okay. Then they took picture of me and all those people, and they deleted all the images, but they don't know, but we can always retrieve those images and always retrieve those videos by other means. We retrieved it, but we couldn't use it because we couldn't get into the meeting itself. But there are problems. It's not that there had not been problem. We could have been beaten up that day. There were at least 50 people surrounding us and saying things like bad things and all those things. But yeah, but not that kind of physical fight or physical kind of beating we didn't have to face.
The way NRC is viewed in Bengal, as you said, is very different from how it is viewed in the rest of India. I think Punjabis will also view it same as us, because both of us are partition nations. So if you look at Assam, even the Assam NRC, out of the 19 lakh 6,657 people, so out of those 19 lakh people, 12 lakhs are estimated to be Hindu Bengalis, and only the rest are Muslim speaking East Bengal origin people. So after that thing happened in Assam, where out of the 19 lakhs 12 lakhs were Hindus who were Bengali speaking, and the rest were Muslims who were Bengali speaking. So after that, Bengal was one of the first states to wake up. Like, I remember that when the first draft of the NRC came out, it was in, I think, 2018, like that. The first protests outside Assam happened in Bengal immediately. Nobody had to wait, and TMC was not even in the scene. It was like people spontaneously protesting against the Assam NRC draft, the first draft, which had 40 lakh people's names. Because people very soon realized that if this is going to get implemented in Bengal, then half of Bengal will not be able to, please their whatever documents they were asking of us. For example, my father, how he is going to prove anything? He has an East Pakistani passport. When he came here, he still has it. It's something we have in our family. Then of course he has an Indian passport later on. But then if they go back to those dates, and if they ask for some specific documents like how you came here, how are you going to show all that? Who is going to show all that? Forget about the poor people who don't even have their documents in place. Even the people who are middle class, they will not be able to show all their documents. So there was huge anxiety, and that anxiety was mostly among the Hindus also in Bengal. Because the majority who migrated from Bangladesh are who? Hindus. Even now, even after 1971, whatever migrations have happened are Hindus. So in our film, you will see a special flashpoint where there is this character who used to dress up as Hanuman in all the big rallies of BJP, like Modi rally, Amit Shah rally. He will be the main Hanuman. Okay. Now this guy is a Hindu refugee from Bangladesh. He came as late as last 10 years or something like that. So NRC happens, he is going to be kicked out. So you see in our film that this guy is committing suicide. Now we went to his village. Now there was a controversy whether he committed because of NRC or not. But when we went to the village, we sort of interviewed everyone about what is their reality of the NRC. This guy's brother himself admits on camera that in their village 99% are Hindu migrants from Bangladesh, and he's also saying that they have come as late as the last 10 years. So who is Amit Shah going to kick out? His own brand of Hanumans, right? Like the people who are rooting for him, the people who are dressing up for him. So they don't get the reality of the border areas of Bengal. So, which is why I think if they talk about NRC in Bengal, it's good for us, because the BJP is going to get further decimated. We want them to talk because there is no taker, Hindu, Muslim, irrespective of that.
I was so angry when Amit Shah used the word gooseberry.
Yeah.
how can he talk about human beings like this?
Yeah, and in a country where partition was done without taking people's permission, did they take our permission before they partitioned? So what are we going to do? Like, it was from above.
And
People
also
had
people
no say.
forgot in Bengal, TMC might be the champion of NRC related movement, but the fact of the matter is that I remember when NPR happened, we were the first person from NRC, anti-NRC movement and other movements, civil society movement, that we talked about that this NPR is the first step to NRC. This was Mamata Banerjee who said no, NPR is not the first step to NRC, these people are misleading everybody. But then when the movement started picking up, Mamata was she had to admit that okay, we won't do NPR here also. She thought that this would be only a Muslim issue, because when this thing happened, there was also a huge, very anarchic protest. The throwing stones and everything.
People were so angry.
So angry. It was a very spontaneous anarchic movement. Like all over Bengal, people were just breaking things up, like doing all sort of things. And this was not organized by even a civil society organization or mass organization. It was spontaneous outburst of anger. So that was there. Mamata kind of, not only Mamata, we had this all-party resolution in the Vidhan Sabha where then CPIM was also there, CPIM, Congress and Trinamool passed a resolution like in Kerala that will never let CAA and NRC be implemented in West Bengal. But then all-party came together, but it was still a movement by the people. Faceless people, sometimes small organizations who had no past history. But that came up. Many people who never used to be in politics, they came up. But also we had a Shaheen Bagh type of movement also. Like in all the Muslim majority areas of Kolkata, be it Par Circus, Raja Bazar or anybody else, we had these people standing there. But that was not the only form of protest. We also had other kind of protest that we have shown in our films.
And I will also like to mention this one very unique thing about the CAA, how it is perceived in Bengal. So see, the marketing by the BJP is marketing every product differently to different categories of people. This you know, right? So the way the CAA is marketed in Bengal by the BJP is that we are going to give citizenship to Matuas, who are the late migrants who have come much later. So they have been duped, so they have very doubtful citizenship status, so we will give them citizenship. This is their marketing. Now this marketing had helped them electorally. In the 2019 elections, all the seats that they got, they had got a lot of Matua votes, almost majority of it in the border areas, because they had been able to market their CA product. Okay. Now there was the loophole in the marketing which the anti-NRC, anti-CA movement pointed out, is that in order for a Matua, let us suppose I am a Matua, okay. So first the NPR person comes to me and then I write down I am an Indian citizen, so please, take me in your NRC. Then the CA form comes and I fill up that CA form saying, no, I am a Bangladeshi, I am requesting citizenship under Mr. Amit Shah's generosity. So what am I left with? My legal status is going to go. My entire legal status is going to be doubtful, and I'm going to spoil it not only for myself but for my children and for my grandchildren, because they'll say that like, what have you done? Are you an Indian or are you a Bangladeshi? How can you fill up the two forms together? And secondly, if I fill up the Bangladeshi form first, what is the proof of persecution that I will have to give? Because suppose, let's say most of the people just came because it was not persecution. Even for the few people, or even for the people, even like somebody like my father who witnessed a riot in 1964. So my father keeps asking me that how can I give a proof to Mr. Amit Shah that I had witnessed a riot in 1964. I was not clicking selfies, in the riot. I did not file an FIR. So what can I prove? So what can other people prove?
Persecution can't be proved.
So persecution cannot be proved, and secondly, you cannot fill up both the forms together. In one form you are declaring Indian, another form you are declaring Bangladeshi, and who is going to declare themselves Bangladeshi? This is one point that our movements also said, that please find in entire Bengal one single person who is putting their hand up and saying, I'm going to fill up that CAA form and declare myself as Bangladeshi. There's not one single person to be found. You know, it's a open challenge. Like, who is that one person who is willing to give up their ration card, give up their voter card, give up their Aadhaar card, everything give up and just write that I was living so far with fake documents. Now from today onwards I am declaring myself to be Bangladeshi because I want to get this grand citizenship given by Amit Shah. Find one Bengali. You can't find even one Bengali. So the entire CAA marketing is being sold to people's sentiments but not to their realities, which is why now slowly in the 2021 assembly election in the Matua areas also BJP's vote share has decreased, because they are also realizing that this is a whole fake product which has been sold to us.
As a filmmaker, as an activist, you traveled throughout Bengal, you studied about Bengal's politics, etc. So how you look at your future?
Left and Congress can only come together electorally only if in 2024 BJP is ousted from power in the center. If BJP is in power in the center even after 2024, then I think BJP would be the principal opposition in Bengal for the coming days. There is no other options. And but I don't think that BJP is coming to the power even in 2026 when our assembly elections are due. But we never know. If BJP is in power in Bengal, in India in 2024, they can go for a far-reaching changes in Indian politics. We have only seen Ram Mandir, we have only seen 370 abrogation and all those things. They can go for Hindu Rashtra. They can just do away with democracy that we have. They are fascist. Like, one has to understand that we are talking about a party and organization which is not like other parties. They are not DMK, they are not AIDMK, they are not Congress, they are not TMC, they are fascists, and they can do serious stuff. And after 24, if they come back to power with majority, they can change India that we know as of now. So anything we'll say, we might be surprised by the future. Our prediction might not be true. But as of now, BJP is not coming back to the power, coming to the power in Bengal, at least, if the things are like this. But things might not be like this.
One other thing I would like to add is, after the 2024, we have to understand that in 2025, it's an important year. The RSS is completing 100 years. The Communist Party in India is also completing 100 years. It's polar opposite forces, right? So RSS has been successful in its long-term plan. It has been running for 100 years, and I think RSS is more fundamental than BJP. BJP will come and go. RSS is the main driving force behind their ideology, and they have plans. They have plans for India if they continue to enjoy power. Their plan is not only to serve corporate agenda, that is obviously there because that's the big money that's coming from there, but their plan is to fundamentally alter the constitution, to change the nature of citizenship. We might even be looking at second grade and third grade citizens officially on paper. Already minority communities have been pushed to the edge in the places where they are enjoying majority. Like, in Myanmar there are several tiers of citizenship. We might be looking at something like that if the BJP continues to enjoy power, that legally speaking people will have different tiers of citizenship. And obviously the working class is going to get the worst deal, whether Hindu and Muslim, but the Muslims and Christians are going to get the worst brunt of that thing. So that fear is always there, and unless and until they are driven out from the center, like he said, I don't think the left is coming back. But
and left is also not realizing that RSS have two main enemies. One is Muslim and one is communists. They are not realizing that after killing of Muslims, they will kill off communists. Like, they have to do it. It's in their ideology. They have written it about in their books. They will kill left, they will kill Muslims.
So the other thing is that what if the BJP doesn't come back to power in 2024? If that happens, like we are all talking about if and but since you have asked, if that happens, then things can change, because if that happens, then we will also see growth of TMC authoritarianism beyond Bengal, because they will also have a lot of, because anybody who comes to power in Delhi has to have the corporate backing, right? So the corporates right now are putting their eggs in the basket of different baskets. The majority of eggs are in the BJP basket, but they're also putting some eggs in the Congress basket, 1 or 2 eggs in the TMC basket also. So they like to play it very safe, like whoever party comes to power will give something to the corporates. That's the whole thing. So if 2024 BJP goes, and hope that happens, then also the balance of power will shift, and we will be expecting to see more of TMC authoritarianism. And if there are people's movements against that, then if the left can champion that, I don't know,
And
things
also
can
we
change.
might have, there is a possibility that we might have a newer formations in Bengal. There is a chance that because left and Congress is so run down, we might see another regional formations coming up in Bengal.
Based on Bengali nationalism.
Because that is the thing right now in Bengal. Bengali nationalism is a thing. And just like in Tamil Nadu, yeah, the whole politics have changed now. So in Bengal also there is a possibility. It might not happen, but there is a possibility.
And the other big elephant in the room is delimitation of seats. So if the delimitation thing happens, Kerala, Bengal, Punjab, Tamil Nadu, everybody is going to lose out to North Indian, this Hindi belt, because delimitation happens on the basis of population density. Our population density is decreasing, yours is decreasing, because of policies, right? So if that happens, then the entire equation is going to
I think then
change.
the so-called regional parties will come together, and we might see balkanization of India. We never know.
Because nobody is going to, whether we are accepting the gulami of
The kind of money that we give to Delhi and the kind of money that we are getting back from Delhi is like problematic, right?